I've met with a lot of firms, I've had these situations before, but I haven't found anybody as good as Merlin and as dedicated to what they do. They're not here to make you happy, they're here to win. You have insurance for a reason. You pay a premium for a reason. Don't be afraid. If you don't think they're settling with you fairly, that's when you have to get someone like the Merlin Group involved.
My name is Chase Johnson. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and we have used C3 Group several times on some of our large loss commercials and our higher end residential for their appraisal services and their public adjusting services. Their knowledge of the market, of the ever-changing regulations, and their ability to create a very thorough estimate from an understanding of construction and the management of the project.
Good Monday, everybody. Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, which is going to be a little more just kind of coverage ongoing. The forecast ended up starting about 11:30 this morning, so we're going to kind of jump right into it in just a second here. I'm actually going to show you guys a radar. If you follow Derek on Facebook or look on our page, we shared a 3D image of a storm that's ongoing right now. Pretty dangerous looking tornado. So we're going to probably jump right into that instead of going into our video. Here is a current live look of the radar. So this is to give you an idea. I got the two different panels here. We have reflectivity, what you normally see on TV, and over here the correlation coefficient, or the CCs. If you watch our live coverage, you know this is a good way to see hail. It's also a great way to see a debris ball with a tornado, because it'll just bottom everything out and you just see this like little blue circle here. We zoom out the radar, give you a point of reference. Alexandria is right here. The tornado producing storm is right here, and it is moving pretty much towards Alexandria. So folks there, yes, it's a ways away, but you got to keep a very close eye on this. This is a dangerous confirmed tornado ongoing, heading in that general direction. Nothing to impede it right now, so the conditions are extremely favorable for a big time tornado as it continues to just kind of soldier on through. If we zoom in a lot closer, you can see right here where we have, this is where a tornado is at right here. This is the debris ball. You see the correlation coefficient bottom out. You can see the map under it showing that there's a lot of velocities here. We're very close to the radar, and I actually don't have we don't have our upgraded velocities on this yet. Man, yeah, you can see it clear as day. Inflow coming in, looping around, big time storm right there, moving to northeast towards Alexandria, Louisiana. Again, we're pretty far away from it. Hopefully it will not, dang, we're too close to the radar to get a good 3D image of it. But as it continues moving to the northeast, hopefully this doesn't impact Alexandria. We do not want to see a large violent tornado impact a city, but if you're in the path, if you are in Leander or Heinston and you happen to be watching us, please take your precautions. When we roll the radar back, you can see this thing has been going for a while here, guys, and it has been gnarly. Moving to the north and to the east. So a lot of other activity going on as well. If we jump over, you can see that's not the only tornado warning storm. We have a confirmed tornado warning. This one's heading towards Jackson, Mississippi. We're mapping all of this live. We do have all the tornado maps. We aren't sending any push alerts for the wind maps quite yet, as we're still trying to figure everything out, but it is there. So if you have our subscription with that, all these tornadoes are being mapped as they are occurring, along with any sort of strong winds with them. So we have this one heading towards Jackson. Hopefully we'll see how this one pans out here. I know last time I looked at it, this is in Mississippi, west of Jackson, Mississippi. This storm is heading towards Jackson, possibly the northern suburbs there, so we'll be watching that carefully. Further to the north, we did have the first tornado of the day was in the north and east of Shreveport. That has since dissipated, just straight line winds now. Here we have a cold front. We're in Louisiana. Yes, thank you, Dave, for helping us out here. And we have, what is this, 4 different tornado warned storms. I know this one for sure. This is the first one we talked about. This is probably gonna be the storm of the day, as of right now anyway. Big tornado. Definitely a strong tornado heading towards Alexandria, Louisiana. Not imminent, but coming up in the next hour. So if you're in Alexandria, you're watching us with this, definitely keep an eye on the news, radio, everything to make sure that you are safe in the event that this thing holds together as it gets there. Again, we're about an hour away. Tornadoes typically don't stay on the ground that long, but we'll see how that that evolves. We have another tornado warning down here, one in Texas about to cross over into Louisiana towards, that is near, where is that one near? Hemp Hill, and then we have another one in Winfield. So again, a lot of activity. It's all focused in this one area here, and that is what we're thinking for the forecast for today. Looks like we'll be seeing the chance for hail, tornadoes, and possibly very strong straight line winds as a very strong cold front pushes across the southeast tonight, and going into tomorrow, things will be much quieter. So all the activities is going on right now. So a good chunk of this is going to be happening during the day, probably winding down after dark, turning more into a straight line wind risk as everything turns into just a line of storms, and that'll have strong winds and then eventually weaken considerably as we get towards Georgia by tomorrow morning. So we're going to jump back into the actual forecast now that we kind of did a crash course of everything that's going on right now. We're still doing our state reviews. Ted Webb asked, any hail yet? As of this exact second, I have not seen any hail. I think one of the storms, there's a potential for some hail. We'll talk about that in the forecast in just a second here. We're still doing the state review, so I got to rush through this. Iowa is the state today. 160 reports this year, well below average. The average is about 300. 263 was 2018. We're actually above average in 2017 with 456. And we're a better year than 2016, only 120 reports in Iowa. Again, averaging about 302. The record for this one, I had to go back pretty far to 2001 for 477 reports. We have 59 maps in the state of Iowa, quite a few, but the overwhelming majority, 26 of which were in, oh, hang on, no, that's not right. I didn't add that up right. Whoops, I didn't change the total maps. There wasn't 59 maps. There was actually only a little over 30. So we had 26 one-star maps, 9 two-star maps, and 2 3-star maps. And that main one, the Des Moines, Shenandoah, and Waterloo, that was 2.5-inch hail, about 23,000 homes impacted, 3-star map. That was in October, 1st of October. So that's probably the main storm that happened in Iowa that impacted the most people this year. So the forecast for today, so asking about the hail. So there is tornadoes ongoing right now. There's no doubt about that because we're in the process of a tornado outbreak for today here in December. Not super unusual for this area of the country for this time of year, but in terms of hail, the lapse rate, so one of the factors we use to see hail is not the greatest. So great for tornadoes, not the greatest for hail. It's only about $0.50 size hail with any of these really intense storms. 2% chance pretty much across the board. Again, that tornado threat's there, that wind threat's quite strong, but I don't think we're going to see a whole ton of hail in there. Anything that does happen will map. I believe the storm heading towards Alexandria, wouldn't be surprised if that one makes hail. It has to be the strongest one, so maybe even the one towards Jackson may also drop some marginally severe hail as well. But the wind threat's a different story. We got wind possibly up to 70, 75 miles per hour. That's non-tornadic winds, so just straight line winds. Anywhere here from possibly up towards Chattanooga. That's going to be all tonight, all the way back towards about Shreveport. The cold front's right about here right now. And again, up to 70 mile per hour winds out. That 20% chance for Jackson, where I'm really pretty sure you're going to have the brunt of the strongest winds impacting them at the peak time this evening with the main straight line wind producer. You're going to see that tornado producer probably pretty soon here. 10% New Orleans, 10% for Birmingham. That's going to be overnight tonight, where storms may weaken quite a bit before they get to the Birmingham area, but that chance is still there. So yes, we're getting those wind and hail forecasts in there. That future radar, don't really need to see too much of a future radar as storms are ongoing right now. HRRR model, the high resolution rapid refresh model, seems to be kind of nailing this one on the head, seeing all the supercells that are forming out ahead of that line, and then that main line moves through this evening. Things wind down pretty quickly after about 10 p.m. tonight, and there is nothing to be expected for tomorrow. This is the only game in town for today and all of this week, the week before Christmas, so that's all we have to look forward to. I'm going to just double check real quick on what's going on currently. And definitely still have a tornado on the ground and confirmed tornado warning up by Jackson. So if anything crazy does go down, I'll pop back on here. Just looking at, it doesn't look like there's anything hail producing right now, just all tornadoes at the moment. If we do see a storm make it to Alexandria or to Jackson, I'll pop back live and we can cover that together. So make sure you're following us here on Facebook and you hit see first. That way any new live videos that come up will pop top of your news feed. And if, as always, need any help with the website or the app, feel free to give us a call and we'll set up a training at your earliest convenience for you and possibly even your whole team. It's a great time of year to do it as we're getting towards the end of the year, especially now into January when things are a little more quiet. You're able to go ahead and get things squared away, so everything you got going on. Give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any other comments, questions, or concerns you may have, if you want to set up a training, you can email us if you don't want to talk to us on the phone, and you can visit our website, hailtrace.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, search at hailtrace. So again, we'll be back. If anything crazy starts going down where we get these storms impacting cities or we're just about to get into a city, we'll pop back live and we'll do coverage. So whether it's Jackson, Alexandria, or any other future cities the rest of today, we'll be back live to cover those, whether it's tornadoes or hail, or maybe even both. But until then, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day, everyone. If you're in the area at risk, keep an eye on the skies on the TV and radio, just so you stay safe from anything going on. I'll talk to you guys later.